could fucking bench press with this. Can we do this? I'm stacking them on my thighs. The things I do for a good thumbnail. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Maria and I am frankly obsessed with books. You'll find lots of bookish content here because that's all I talk about, but you're very welcome. Today I thought we could go through my 26 for 2026. Now I do read a lot over the course of a year. I think I hit 168 or 169 last year, so I didn't find 26 for 26 to be super difficult. Personally, bear in mind everyone reads differently. I just tend to read a little bit on the more side, but I'm also a loner. I sit at home all the time, read my books. I prioritize reading a lot in my daily time, and I don't have kids. So, but I do this with a full-time job. Without further ado, let's talk about my 26 books. I thought all of these were from my shelves, but apparently there's one book that I don't own. I still believe I do own it somewhere, but that should tell you a lot about my book hoarding problem. But this might be a long one, so grab yourself a coffee or any other beverage to enjoy, preferably caffeinated one, because I'm gonna need it. I am an iced coffee kind of girl. Doesn't matter that it's literally freezing outside. Doesn't stop me. Right, so most of the books that I've selected for my 26 for 2026 are books from my own shelves. I'm working through my physical TBR because it has gotten out of hand. But it means that hopefully that will help me get the number down a bit. We won't talk about the number because it's embarrassing. But first up, we have Alice Walker, The Color Purple. I'm trying my absolute best to diversify my TBR and my books in general because I think it's important, and I watched the movie and I seen the musical, but I think this book is really, really important and I'd like to read it and be able to fully grasp the story of it. It's a really hard read, I've heard. If you've seen the movie, you know it's a hard story to go through. I'm going to read through the blurb here for you. Dear God, I'm 14 years old. I've always been a good girl. Maybe you can give me a sign letting me know what is happening to me. So begin Alice Walker's touching, complex and engrossing novel, set in the harsh, segregated world of the Deep South between the wars. Celie has been raped by the man she calls father. Her 2 children are taken away from her. She has been forced into an ugly marriage. She has no one to talk to but God. But then she meets Shug Avery, the singer, the magic woman, and discovers not the pain of rivalry, but the love and support of women. I'm really looking forward to picking this up, and yeah, that was a hard one to start with. But The Color Purple. I actually borrowed this copy from my mother-in-law, so I also really need to give it back because that was like 2 years ago. So, but I'm looking forward to reading it. I'm sighing because I picked up a non-fiction book and I don't really read non-fiction. However, I am nothing but a part of the masses, and the fact that this got so popular is the reason. Well, to be fair, I got it in a secondhand shop, so it didn't cost me a whole lot. But it's Atomic Habits by James Clear. A lot of people found great value reading this, and even Hannah, my best friend, has talked about this a lot and said that it was worth a read. So I'm doing it this year. The only non-fiction I read is like memoirs. This is gonna be a oh, it's a fantastic flop though. Okay, do you know what? Do you know what? You can stay. A revolutionary way to get 1% better every day. People think when you want to change your life, you need to think big. But world-renowned habits expert James Clear has discovered another way. He knows that real change comes from the compound effect of hundreds of small decisions. Doing 2 push-ups a day, waking up 5 minutes earlier, or reading just 1 more page. He calls them atomic habits. In this groundbreaking book, Clear reveals exactly how these minuscule changes can grow into such life-altering outcomes. He uncovers a handful of simple life hacks, the forgotten art of habit stacking, the unexpected power of the 2-minute rule, or the trick to entering the Goldilocks zone, and delves into cutting-edge psychology and neuroscience to explain why they matter. Along the way, he tells inspiring stories of Olympic gold medalist, leading CEOs, and distinguished scientists who have used the science of tiny habits to stay productive, motivated, and happy. These small changes will have a transformative effect on your career, your relationships, and your life. Okay, but maybe I need it. I'm really out to make myself cry this year, apparently, with the chunky books. I'm looking at this one and then the next one, but I have A Little Life. I'm gonna butcher the name here, but Hanya Yanagihara? Yanagihara? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna look up how to pronounce that. I am nothing if not a part of the masses again. I've heard a lot about this. Either you love it or you hate it. See, I'm the kind of reader who can do a cozy, feel-good, low-stakes romance novel as much as I can read the books that will break your heart into a million tiny fucking pieces and you will never fully recover because you don't have enough scotch tape to actually tape it all together. You know? So in this case, I think I might like it. I think this book might be something that is right up my alley, or it might be something that I'll DNF within literally 5 minutes. But that's not gonna happen. I can't DNF for the life of me. But A Little Life. When 4 college graduates moved to New York to make their way, they were broke, adrift, and buoyed? My non-native English is showing real hard right now. Buoyed, or whatever, only by their friendship and ambition. There is kind, handsome Willem, JB, a quick-witted painter seeking entry to the art world, Malcolm, a frustrated architect, and brilliant, enigmatic Jude. Over the decades, their relationships deepen, tinged by addiction, success, and pride. Yet their greatest challenge, Ed comes to realize, is Jude himself. By midlife, a talented and successful lawyer, yet an increasingly broken man, haunted by a degree of childhood trauma that he fears will not only be unable to overcome, but that will define his life forever. In a novel of extraordinary intelligence and heart, Yanagihara has fashioned a masterful depiction of heartbreak and a dark and haunting examination of the tyranny of experience and memory. Yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna really like it. But I love a bandwagon. I know I'm late to the party, but I love when people collectively just love something so much. That's why I'm really dying to read Heated Rivalry, because I love being a part of the crowd. But I'm trying not to buy new books. And I'm trying to read my physical TBR. Neither are going very great. Next up, another chunker. Speaking of being emotionally distorted. I did not read Manacled, okay? The thing that convinced me to buy this book was the fact that the author, Sen Lin Yu, went so much out of their way to take apart every single thing that makes Harry Potter in the fanfic to make their own story. I know from friends how hauntingly and devastating and depressing and hard and dark and twisted but beautiful this story is, and I really applaud the author for building something on their own and then publishing it, but taking apart every single thing that had anything to do with the trolls. You know which troll I'm talking about. Her IP, to make their own work that has nothing to do with them or nothing to do with her, I really want to support them, especially because a lot of people kept calling it a Harry Potter fanfiction. Now, I grew up with Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter as much as the next person. However, I don't condone the author. I don't like her. I don't believe in her opinions, and I don't want to support her in any way. So the fact that this is literally taking no money and putting it in her pocket, big fan. And I want to support Linnu, especially because they're non-binary and coming out with a book based on something that meant something for them as a younger person, but making it their own. I love that. So I'm very excited to delve into this monster eventually when I feel emotionally stable. Which might be never, but we'll see. It's so, oh my god, it's reversible. Look at this! That's so pretty. That made me really excited. I'm really excited. I love that. Okay, hold on. It's so heavy.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
How have I only talked about 3 books so far? Once a promising alchemist, Helena Marino is now a prisoner of war and of her own mind. Her resistance friends and allies have been brutally murdered and her abilities suppressed and the world she knew destroyed. In the aftermath of a long war, Palladia's new ruling class of corrupt guild families and depraved necromancers whose vile, undead creatures help bring about their victory holds Helena captive. Is it Helena or Helena? According to resistant records, she was a healer of little importance within their ranks, but Helena has inexplicably memory loss of the months leading up to her capture, making her enemies wonder, is she truly as insignificant as she appears, or are her lost memories hiding some vital piece of the Resistance final gambit? To uncover the memories buried deep within her mind, Helena is sent to the High Reeve, one of the most powerful and ruthless necromancers in this new world. Trapped on his crumbling estate, Helena's fight to protect the lost history and to preserve the last remaining shreds of her former self is just beginning. For her prison and captor have secrets of their own, secrets Helena must unearth, whatever the cost. Wait, I clearly knew nothing. That sounds so good, what the fuck? Reading the blurb is making me more excited for these books. Maybe I should try and read blurbs more often before I just, I don't know, add to cart. But yeah, Alchemized by Linnu. Very excited. Next up, we have Good Material by Dolly Alderton. Dolly Alderton isn't an author that's been on my radar for a while, but I haven't taken a plunge. This book I've owned for a year, I think, and I've been told because I really loved Lessons in Chemistry that I would really like Dolly Alderton's writing. So I'm looking forward to it. Do I have any idea what this book is about? Nah. That's why we're gonna read the blurb. Every relationship has one beginning. This one has 2 endings. Andy loves Jen. Jen loved Andy. He can't work out why she stopped. Now he is 1, without a home. 2, waiting for his stand-up career to take off. 3, wondering why everyone else around him seems to have grown up while he wasn't looking. Set adrift on the sea of heartbreak at a time when everything he thought he knew about women and flat sharing and his friendships has transformed beyond recognition. Andy clings to the idea of solving the puzzle of their broken relationship, because if he can find the answer to that, then maybe Jen can find her way back to him. Andy still has a lot to learn, not least his ex-girlfriend's side of the story. Wait. Okay. That sounds really good. No wonder about it. I have great taste. Oh, look at the size. That's a good size font. Oh, I love that. I love when it's a big font. Because that's why I read on my Kobo. If it's too small. This is nice.
Ooh, this is nice.
But yeah, Dolly Alderton. I think the writing is going to be right up my alley. Are you decent, Morris Schultz? Never. Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. We're not even... Okay. Next up, Louise O'Neill, Asking for It. This book I know for a fact it's gonna break my heart. I know this is about a girl who gets assaulted and is blamed for the assault, basically. And it's a lot about society's look upon female victims. Oh, this is another. Oh, look how big.
That's what she said.
Easy. Oh, I think I'm gonna fly through this. Well, actually no, because I think it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna read you the blurb. They're good boys, really. This all just got out of hand. I'm already mad. I'm already pissed off. I hate that sentence. Why does it start with that? It's the beginning of summer and Emma O'Donovan is 18 years old. Beautiful, happy and confident. One night there's a party. Everyone is there. All eyes are on Emma. The next day she wakes up on the front porch of her house. She doesn't know how she got there. She doesn't know why she's in pain, but everyone else does. Photographs taken at the party show in great detail exactly what happened to Emma that night. But sometimes people don't want to believe that's what's right in front of them, especially if the truth concerns the town's heroes. A brave, bold and important novel about sexual consent and betrayal, victim blaming and truth in the age of the smartphone. This book is going to make me so angry, and I'm here for it. I wanted to read this for years. Actually, I wanted to read it for, I think, 2 years. I've had it on my shelf. I think a lot of girls have experienced one way or another some of the things that are happening in this book, and it's something we can relate to, and I think it's something that you should talk about. I think we should be open and honest about what's happening and how it's treated. And this book came out in 2015, right? So this is 11 years old this year. Holy fuck! So it's still a really, really relevant topic today, and I want to read it because I think it's something that definitely is a topic to be discussed even 11 years later. So yeah, I really am out to fucking break my heart. I just chose the first bunk and apparently they're all trauma. The last one in this bunk is also trauma. Babel or Babel, however you want to say it, by R.F. Kuang. I've read 2 R.F. Kuang novels in my life. I read Yellowface that I gave 3 stars. No, hear me out. I know that my reasoning for the 3 stars is literally the point of the book, and R.F. Kuang did a great job. But the reason I gave the book 3 stars is because the main character pissed me off. And I know that's the point. We're meant to hate them. We're meant to dislike the main character because they're a dick. But R.F. Kuang did too good a job because I didn't want to know. I didn't want to follow their story. I disliked them so much. They had no interest whatsoever for me. Like, I'm getting like agitated just thinking about it because I disliked it so much. But the writing was gorgeous, so I still gave it 3 stars. I'll never read it again, but I loved the writing of R.F. Kuang. And then I read Catabasis. Kuang really likes writing titles that people don't agree on how to pronounce. But I read Catabasis, and the academic setting, the characters, the plot, the setting, oh my god, the world building it is. Now it's not, it would be considered fantasy, I believe, but in my head it's magical realism because it's set in today's world, however also the underworld, right? So it is a fantasy setting, however it's so modern and academic. I would call it dark academia meet magical realism personally. I don't think of it per se as fantasy because it was more based on religious setting, and I loved the attention to detail in that book. It was gorgeous. There were so many little things that had been researched and thought through, and every step of the way we had something that you could just feel had been so carefully turned over and put down on paper. I think it's probably one of the best reads I had last year, right? Like, I generally think the setting was fantastic, and I'm a slut for a good world building, right? I love a good setting. I love when it can be described as so much that you're there, you're in it, you fully experience it for yourself as you're reading through it. And that's what Catabasis did for me. I've heard that Babel, I'm gonna call it Babel actually, because for me it's like Babylon. I've heard that Babel is the best work of R.F. Kuang or The Poppy War. It's one or the other, but I heard Babel is up there and it is fantasy. Hi, so I don't know what happened, but somehow I managed to lose about 12 books worth of content. So please don't mind the fact that I'm in a completely different outfit and hair and all, because editing Maria is just gonna take you through the last 12 books. I'm going to read the blurb of Babel that I was missing, or Babel, and then I'm going to introduce the other books. Then I'm going to talk about One Dark Window, and then we'll jump back to the previous content because that's where my camera left off. So let's do it. So the last note I end on is me saying that Babel, that it's a fantasy, but I'm actually wrong. It's set in Oxford in the 1800s, so it is more of a dark academia with magical realism, as far as I can say. So I'm going to read the blurb. An act of translation is always an act of betrayal. Oxford, 1836. The city of dreaming spires. It is the center of all knowledge and progress in the world, and at its heart is Babel, Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, the tower from which all the power of the empire flows. Orphaned in Canton and brought to England by a mysterious guardian, Robin Swift thought Babel a paradise until it became a prison. But can a student stand against an empire? I think I said Babel and Babel twice, like differently. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. R.F. Kuang is literary mastermind. I'm also aware that this video is getting really long, and I'm going to speed through these because I yap a lot about the following books. Next up we have Fatebound by Sarah L. Arifi. I know this is sapphic, I know this is a romantasy, and it's highly endorsed by Samantha Shannon, who's one of my favorite romantasy authors. She calls it a romantic fantasy of epic proportions, crackling with magic and passion, which sounds so perfect. The book is beautiful as well, and my friend Neve is raving about this book, so I need to get to it soon. Let's see if I can find the blurb. The good old days when people just put it in the... There's no blurb. Oh, it is. It's literally on the back. Imprisoned by fate, as a warrior in the elven army, Yiran knows she'll die on the battlefield, but her sister Little, a diviner, seeks prophecies of a better future. Divided by blood, when a fatal mistake leads to Yiran's exile from the elven lands, the sisters are forced into the terrifying wilderness beyond their borders. There they encountered the Fae Court. Bound by desire, as Yiran and Little are thrust into the Fae's seductive world, they're torn between their loyalty to each other and their hearts. Welcome to the intoxicating world of the Fae. It just sounds fabulous. I never use the word fabulous, but I stand by it. It does sound incredible. It's very high on my priority list. You know how I said I was going to talk quickly through the books, and I've spent 5 minutes already talking about these two books. Then I have Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, right? Maggie O'Farrell. Yes, this is recently released as a movie that I'm very excited to read. Recently released as a movie that I'm very excited to watch, but before I watch it, I want to read the book. On a summer's day in 1596, a young girl in Stratford-upon-Avon takes to her bed with a sudden fever. Her twin brother Hamnet searches everywhere for help. Why is nobody at home? Their mother Agnes is over a mile away in the garden where she grows medicinal herbs. Their father is working in London. Neither parent knows that Hamnet will not survive the week. Hamnet is a novel inspired by the son of a famous playwright, a boy whose life has been all but forgotten, but whose name was given to one of the most celebrated plays ever written. I honestly can't wait to pick this up. This sounds like a historical drama that's right up my alley, and I'm so excited. I have The Hurricane Wars by Tia Guanson. I'm not sure I pronounced her last name correctly. And this is a romantasy that was recommended to me by someone on Bookstagram many months ago. I'd say probably early on in my Bookstagram career, which was 2 years ago. So it's about time that I pick it up. One lone light will stand against an empire. Light wars against darkness. All Taliesin has ever known are the Hurricane Wars. She uses the power of light to fight for her people against the Night Empire. Enemies forced into marriage. Oh, I love that trope. All Alaric has ever known is darkness. He wields terrifying shadow magic to crush those who stand in his way. But the moment Taliesin and Alaric clash, their lives are changed forever. A storm is coming. The coming storm threatens to destroy everything if they don't destroy each other first. Ooh! I am very excited. I originally thought this was a smudge, but it's actually a little boat that keeps moving. It's very cute. It starts somewhere around here and it just keeps moving up until it disappears. I'm excited to find out what that means. But yeah, it sounds really intriguing to me, and it's a stunning book. Like, it's gorgeous. To add on a little bit of Irish, I picked up Intermezzo last year. I haven't read anything by Sally Rooney yet, but I really like Sally Rooney as a person. I admire her stances on a lot of political things, and I think she's a brilliant public figure. Now, I know this is about chess, but that's about all I know. And the reason I think it's about chess is because of the lone chess piece here, and then the fact that it looks like, you know, a check board. Aside from the fact that they're brothers, Peter and Ivan Kubek seem to have little in common. Peter's a Dublin lawyer in his 30s, successful, competent, and apparently unassailable. But in the wake of their father's death, he's medicating himself to sleep and struggling to manage a relationship with two different women. His enduring first love, Sylvia, and Naomi, a college student for whom life is one long joke. Ivan is a 22-year-old competitive chess player. He has always seen himself as socially awkward, a loner, the antithesis of his glib elder brother. Now, in the early weeks of his bereavement, Ivan meets Margaret, an older woman emerging from her own turbulent past, and their lives become rapidly and intensely intertwined. For two grieving brothers and the people they love, this is a new interlude, a period of desire, despair, and possibility, a chance to find out how much one life might hold inside itself without breaking. I'm very excited to pick this up. I think I have to be in a specific kind of mood to really appreciate the writing in this. So I'm looking forward to picking it up, but it'll probably be at a very distinct point in time. No, I couldn't tell you what point in time that would be, but I'm assuming I'd feel it. Something completely different is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It's highly recommended to me as the sci-fi. I've seen it hugely over the internet. Like, it sounds really, really good. I know it's YA. I also know that the first book is not the best one, but as the series goes along, that sounds wrong. I've said it too many times now. Everything sounds incorrectly. As we move through the series, the emotional punch is a lot heavier, and I'm really looking forward to just feeling things. The Earth is dying. Darrow is a red, a miner, as in works in a mine, not in under 18. A miner in the interior of Mars. His mission is to extract enough precious elements to one day tame the surface of the planet and allow humans to live on it. The Reds are humanity's last hope. Or so it appears until the day Darrow discovers it's all a lie. That Mars has been habitable and inhabited for generations by a class of people calling themselves the Golds, and his fellows as slave labor, to be exploited and worked to death without a second thought. Until the day Darrow, with the help of a mysterious group of rebels, disguises himself as a Gold and infiltrates their command school, intent on taking down his oppressors from the inside. But the command school is a battlefield, and Darrow isn't the only student with an agenda. That sounds very good. I'm excited to start it, but I'm also kind of reluctant to pick up another series, because I'm in the middle of a lot of them, but I think this would be worth it. Let me know in the comments if I should just get over myself and start it, or if it's okay to leave it on the shelf for a little bit longer. Then I have Caravel by Stephanie Garber. I believe you should read Caravel before you read Once Upon a Broken Heart. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the reason I put this one on my 26 for 2026 before Once Upon a Broken Heart. Because I want to make sure I read the series in the right order. I'm assuming it's something to do with a circus, but I actually don't know a whole lot about it. I found this in a secondhand shop and I picked it up because it was like €3. Oh, Cecilia Ahern quoted on it. I love Cecilia Ahern. I love this novel. It's a thing of beauty and the stuff of dreams. Remember, it's all a game. What happens beyond this gate may frighten or excite you, but don't let any of it trick you. Once a year, the infamous Master Legend hosts Caravel, open only to those who have been invited. This year, the week-long game is on Legend's glittering Isla de los Buenos, where the winding streets are an elaborate snow-covered maze and the people are never who they seem. At midnight on the first day, the show begins and the visitors become players. Each of them is vying for the coveted prize, a single wish. All they must do is unravel the mystery of Caravel, but in a game where danger hides behind every charming smile, winning isn't without loss, and their wish might be their last. I love a high-stake game. I don't know what it is, I really love when there's dire consequences taken lightly in a way, and it's a high stake competition trying to win like the grand prize. I'm really looking forward to this. Then I have Divergent by Veronica Roth. I have promised my friend Lani for the longest time that I would pick up Divergent, and I'm in my early 2000s YA era, obviously, because I'm also reading through Hunger Games at the moment, and it feels appropriate, you know? I don't think I even saw the movie as a teen, so this will be, I'm going in completely blind, bar the blurb that I'm about to read for you. 3 flying birds, one for each member of the family I left behind. 16-year-old Triss is forced to make a terrible choice. In a divided society where everyone must conform, Triss does not fit. So she ventures out alone, determined to discover where she truly belongs. Shocked by her brutal new life, Triss can trust no one, and yet she's drawn to a boy who seems to both threaten and protect her. The hardest choice lies ahead. The amount of angst that is in these, is it early 2000s or is it like the mid, like it's 2010s? 2011, so like the 2010s and up angsty YA where it's all about these teens finding their place in the world and figuring out where they belong. They're so dramatic and I love it. I love it so much. I'm really looking forward to picking it up. Then we have Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. I'm trying to read a little bit more Irish this year. I have, I think 4 Irish books on my 26, or 5 actually, 5 books from Irish authors on this list, and I'm very happy about that. So I will most likely read more than that, but it is important for me to get to know the Irish authors as I want to support the people coming from the country I'm living in, you know? So Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. Sally Diamond cannot understand why what she did was so strange. She was only doing what her father told her to put him out with the rubbish when he died. Now Sally is the center of attention, not only from the hungry media and police detectives, but there's also a sinister voice from a past she cannot remember. As she begins to discover the horrors of her childhood, Sally steps into the world for the first time, making new friends and big decisions, and learning that people don't always mean what they say. But who is the man observing Sally from the other side of the world? And why does her new neighbor seem to be obsessed with her? Sally's trust issues are about to be severely challenged. That sounds like a really engaging read. Like, I have a feeling that I will be absolutely sucked into this and will be able to read this in one go. I'm very much looking forward to it. Have you read Strange Sally Diamond yet? To go back to the romance, because I am a romance girly at heart, even though I haven't really added a whole lot of romance books to my list. Very weird behavior of me, actually. But I really want to give The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren a shot. It's my friend Hannah's, one of her highly recommended books, and I've promised her for the last year that I would read it. So now's the time. This year it's gonna happen. I'm very excited because I've read one book by Christina Lauren and I really enjoyed the writing style. It seems super easy to commit to, and I'm looking forward to reading one of her more popular books. For Two Sworn Enemies, anything can happen during the Hawaiian trip of a lifetime. Olive is always unlucky. Her identical twin sister Amy, on the other hand, is probably the luckiest person in the world. While she's about to marry her dream man, Olive is forced to play nice with her nemesis, the best man, Ethan. Yet Olive's luck may be on the turn. When the entire wedding party except for Olive and Ethan gets food poisoning, there's an all-expenses-paid honeymoon in Hawaii up for grabs. Putting their mutual hatred aside, Olive and Ethan head for paradise. But when Olive runs into her future boss, the little white lies she tells him spirals out of control. Forced to play lovingly newlyweds, she and Ethan find themselves in closer proximity than they ever expected. Soon Olive finds that maybe she doesn't mind pretending. In fact, she's beginning to feel kind of lucky. It sounds so cute and so fun, and I will absolutely save this for a beach read because that sounds perfect. I have To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee on my 26 for 26. I'm trying to get through a good chunk of my classics, and I remember reading this in school back in the day, but that was in Danish. I didn't read it in English. And this feels like one of those stories, same as The Color Purple, that you should read, you should know, and be able to understand as much as possible. So I'm hoping to pick this one up this year as well. An unforgettable story of the violent, intolerant, eccentric, humorous, and prejudiced Deep South, seen through the eyes of children. With warmth and understanding, Harper Lee brilliantly recreates not only her characters, but a whole town and its way of life. Scout and Jem Finch lose their innocence when the lawyer father defends a black person charged with the rape of a white girl. The lawyer is the town's conscience, but conscience makes more than cowards. I always forget that Harper Lee is a woman, and I don't know why. Because it makes me so proud to know that she won the Pulitzer Prize, and she's been so successful an author. I don't know why I keep forgetting it. It's honestly, I need to do better. But I am looking forward to reading this in the original language. 2 left before we go back to the past, Maria, so we can finish this video. I can't believe that I lost the footage. Anyway, we have Cersei by Madeline Miller. I read The Song of Achilles and absolutely loved it. I was blown away, and it was one of my favorite reads of 2024, I think. So obviously I need to cop on and read Cersei already. It's also one of my 12 books for 12 months recommendation list. So I have to read Cersei this year. In the house of Helios, god of the sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. Cersei is strange, not powerful and terrible like her father, not gorgeous and mercenary like her mother, but she has a dark power of her own, witchcraft. When Cersei's gift threatens the gods, she's banished to the island of Aiaia, where she owns her occult craft, casting spells, gathering strange herbs, and taming wild beasts. Yet a woman who stands alone cannot live in peace for long, and among her island's guests is an unexpected visitor, the mortal Odysseus, for whom Cersei will risk everything. Cersei's tale is a vivid epic of family, rivalry, love and loss, the inextinguishable song of woman who burning hot and bright in the darkness of a man's world. I'm looking forward to it. I love Greek mythology, and I can't wait to visit Madeline Miller's writing again. And then last but not least, we have One Dark Window. I'm not going to say too much because I actually do have footage of me reading up the blurb, but One Dark Window is such a highly anticipated read of mine. I cannot wait to delve into this world, but my expectations are so high that I am scared shitless to pick it up. I just don't want to be disappointed because the amount of people who said this is so perfect for me, I'm nervous. But let's go back and read the blurb. That's it for editing, Maria.
Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, she's thrust into a world of shadow and deception. Together they embark on a dangerous quest to cure the town of Blunder from the dark magic infecting it. As the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly, darkly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. A maiden must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. I didn't know that was her debut! Alright! Okay, well maybe I'll be less of a snob then, because if it's a debut, I tend to be a little bit easier mindset going into it, so maybe. It sounds really good though. It does sound like something that I would love. Maiden Monster Martyr. Ooh, the cover's beautiful though. Look at that. I also really hope I love it because the special edition in Waterstones of these two books are so fucking gorgeous. So I really want to love it because I like the edition. I think that's a good reasoning, alright? I live in Cork, right? Cork, Ireland. I know that the setting of this book is, I believe, in Cork. At least some of it is in Cork. And one of my good friends from Bookstagram and YouTube, Jordan, raves about this. Like, it's her, I'd say it's about 79% of her personality. And that's being generous on my side. I think if you asked her, she's probably 98% Boys of Tommen. But people love this series. They love it, and I think that makes me a bit scared. Because again, I love a bandwagon. I want to be in the party. I want to be invited to the table. Like, I want to sit with them. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the first 4 books in the series. Don't ask me why I bought those before I read the first one. That's none of your business. I'm really scared. I also think I'm a bit reluctant because I know that it's about teenagers, very young adults, where I think in the first book at least, Shannon is not of a mature age. Like, she's under 18 anyway. And I believe there's a sex scene. I think personally I find it icky to read about young adults, teenagers, have sex, even if they are close in age and whatever, because me as a 26-year-old lady makes me a bit uncomfortable. But I know it's also not the point of the stories. The series is not, it's not a smutty book series. There's sex scenes in it, but it's not about those scenes, you know? Like, it's a plot point more so than the plot point. So I think I need to just get over myself and read it, because I know there's a lot of beautiful description of pain and trauma and suffering and friendship and love, and especially young love, and being dealt a really shitty hand and moving through life with that. And I do believe that the fact that it's set in Ireland, in Cork, and being local makes it feel almost a bit more real, maybe. So I do think I want to give the series a shot this year and finally get my finger out my hole and start reading this. But they're also chonkers. This has gotten sun damage, don't look at it. When two worlds collide, nothing will ever be the same again. Johnny Kavanagh has everything going for him. Primed for stardom on the rugby pitch, oh, I love rugby! He's a force to be reckoned with. Nothing will stop him hitting the heights, not even the shy new girl at Tommen College, with sad eyes and hidden bruises. Oh no! The one that distracts him as no one ever has. Life has never been easy for Shannon Lynch. She arrives at a prestigious private school praying for a fresh start, desperate to shake off the demons that plague her. On her very first day, she encounters the notorious Johnny Kavanagh. Instantly drawn to him, Shannon finds herself once again the target of bullies as she forms a fragile alliance with rugby's rising star. But as they fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with the undeniable chemistry, Johnny and Shannon cannot foresee the obstacles that will threaten their blossoming relationship. Meet the irresistible boys of Tommen and feel the emotional power of their first love like never before in the epic series from the TikTok sensation Chloe Walsh. It's gonna happen. I really want to know what the hype is about. I really want to read from another Irish. That's my 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 5. That's the 5th Irish author on my 26. I love that. Again, I want to be a part of the bandwagon. Like, invite me to the party, guys. Open the door. I want to come in. Please, let me in. We have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Whenever you hear about book boyfriends, right, you always hear about, what's his name? Cardan, I think. No, is it? Anyway, and I hear about Jude a lot. I've heard that I would like Jude so much as an FMC, and I want to know why. What do you mean I'd like her? Why? So, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Why do people do this? Like, I can't take off the sticker. It's not a sticker. Of course I want to be like them. Their beautiful blades forged in some divine fire, and Cardan is even more beautiful than the rest. I hate him so much that sometimes when I look at him I can hardly breathe. One terrible morning, Jude and her sister see their parents murdered. The fearsome assassin abducts all 3 girls to the fairy court, where Jude soon realizes that to survive she needs to be as cunning and deceitful as the Fae themselves. But the stairway to power is fraught with shadows and betrayal, and looming over all is the arrogant and charismatic Prince Cardan. I love a good enemies to lover. I've heard this is a slow burn, and it's a fantasy with a romance subplot and not a romantasy, which I don't mind at all. Like, I do love me romantasy. I love romantasy, but I like fantasy as well, and the fact that there's a romance subplot, I'm down. But it sounds like it's a romantasy more so than a subplot. What's in it? Assassin, betrayal, lover. Okay. We have Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellos. New York is slipping from Cleo's grasp. 24 at a different party every night, and with a student visa that's swiftly running out, she doesn't even have money for cigarettes. But then a chance encounter on New Year's Eve offers her a way out. Frank, successful and 20 years older, can give her the security she craves and a green card she needs. And in Cleo, he sees a life filled with beauty, art and freedom. As the two rush headlong into an impulsive marriage and their friends are drawn into its tumultuous orbit, what began as a chance meeting will change all their lives forever. This is a debut too! I didn't know that. I have to be honest, guys, I bought this solely because of the cover. I just thought this was so intriguing and so beautiful. I love the cover as well, and it's just... Oh yeah! Coco Mellos did Blue Sisters as well, which is an equally beautiful cover. I just love the art style with the painting. I had no idea what it was about, but that sounds really interesting. It sounds like a contemporary fiction that I either will really, really love or I'll get really, really annoyed at them. One or the other. Other than that, I have no thoughts. It's been on my TBR for a long time and I need to read it. So this is keeping me accountable. Leigh Bardugo, Ninth House. I've read nothing from Leigh Bardugo, believe it or not. I think, is it Six of Crows that they've done as well? Nope, not read anything by Leigh Bardugo. However, I know that they're kind of the queen of dark academia, and I really love dark academia, which is something I didn't know until towards the end of 25. That's when I discovered it, and now I'm in my dark academia I'm in my dark academia era. I really want to discover more, and Ninth House is where I'm gonna start. Here's the blurb. Welcome to the Ninth House. Galaxy Alex Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class. A dropout and the sole survivor of a horrific unsolved crime, Alex was hoping for a fresh start. But her free ride comes with a catch. She has been tasked with monitoring Yale's secret societies, notorious haunts of the rich and powerful. Now there's a dead girl on campus, and Alex is the only person willing to look deeper, because the societies are far more sinister and extraordinary than anyone ever imagined. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. A tale of power, privilege, and dark magic. Woohoo! That sounds fantastic. That sounds like if you took Catabasis and then you had a third person spying on the main characters in Catabasis and seeing what the fuck they're up to. Hell yeah. I love high societies with rich people where someone is spying on them as well, like having to figure out all the horrible creepy things they're doing. I don't know why, but I think it's just, as a commoner, I love it. I just think it's interesting, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know Leigh Bardugo's writing as well. We have Ashley Pastern, A Novel Love Story. I read The 7-Year Slip and I adored it. I think I gave it 5 stars actually. I really loved the magical realism. I loved the writing. It was easy and it was fun and it had a great message, and I thought it was such a wonderful read and really just what I needed in that moment. So I'm really excited to read A Novel Love Story as well, because I want to experience more of Ashley Poston's writing. I don't know what it's about. It's literally based on that I loved one book and I want to experience more of the writing. I have The Dead Romantics as well that I also would like to read this year. Again, I've heard really good things about Dead Romantics too, and I want to go back. Have you ever found yourself lost in a Have you ever found yourself lost in a good book? Literally, me trying to jump into it. Eileen Merriweather loves a good love story. Same girl. The fictional kind anyway. After all, imaginary men don't break your heart. But when Eileen's car breaks down en route to her annual book club retreat, she finds herself in Elloraton, a town where every meet is queued, the rain always comes in the afternoon, and the bookshop is always curated with impeccable taste. It feels too good to be true, because Elloraton is the setting of her favourite romance series, and Eileen is sure she must be here to bring the town its storybook ending. But there's one character she can't place. The grumpy bookshop owner with mint green eyes and an irritatingly sexy mouth. He does not want Eileen to finish the story, but how else could she find her happily ever after? That sounds really cute. I think that's like I need a funny, goofy, yoo-hoo, kicking my feet, giggling, non-stop read. Yeah. I'm excited. We have Marissa Stapley, Lucky, which was a Reese's book club pick. The reason I picked this, I kid you not, is literally because Taylor Jenkins Reid said the most fun I've had reading a novel in a long time. I trust TJR with my life. I love this author so much. But it also sounded really fun. What if you had the winning ticket that would change your life forever, but you couldn't cash it in? Lucky Armstrong is tough, talented, and in real trouble. Having just pulled off $1 million heist with her boyfriend, she's preparing to start a brand new life, complete with new identity, when everything goes sideways. Suddenly Lucky finds herself completely alone without the help of either her father or her boyfriend, the two figures from whom she's learned the art of the scam. When Lucky discovers that a lottery ticket she bought on a whim is worth millions, her relations is tempered by one big problem. Cashing in the winning ticket means she'll be arrested for her crimes. As Lucky tries to avoid capture and make a future for herself, she must find a way to confront her own past and learn what it means to be independent and honest before her lucks run out. It's a super short, like 234 pages, super short read. It sounds fun. Like, it sounds like an easy, fun summer read of someone who just needs to get lucky. I love the premise. Like, she just robbed millions, somehow fucked it up, got a lottery ticket, won, but she can't cash it in because she will then get caught. It sounds so much fun and I'm really looking forward to it. And again, trust her with my life. And we have The Wedding People by Alison Espach, I think. Phoebe Stone arrives at a grand beachside hotel in Rhode Island wearing her best dress and least comfortable shoes. Immediately she's mistaken for one of the wedding people, but she's actually the only guest at the Cornwall Inn who isn't there for the big event. When the bride discovers her elaborate destination wedding could be ruined by a divorced and depressed stranger, she's furious. Lila has spent months accounting for every detail and every possible disaster except for, well, Phoebe. Soon both women find their best laid plans derailed and unlikely confidant in one another. Hilarious and moving, The Wedding People is an irresistible novel about love, friendship, dysfunctional families, and the unexpected paths that lead to happiness. That is not what I thought it was going to be about. But hey, I am all for female friendships, unexpected female friendships. It sounds really fun. I got this as a gift, I think. Maybe I bought it. No, I bought this in Vibes and Scribes. Yeah. I bought this in the second-hand shop in Cork City. I bought it because of a TikToker or booktalker, I can't remember the name of right now. They're a couple. I think it's James and I can't remember. Anyway, they really loved this book. They talked about it. I think they had it for I'm not a part of the book club, but they had it as a book club read and they really raged about it, and it sounded interesting the way they talked about it. So I picked it up and I'm going to read it this year because that was last year. That is my 26 for 2026. Have you read any of these books? Is there anything I should know? Something you really recommend? Something I should be aware of before going into them? Any advice? Thoughts and opinions? Thoughts and prayers? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening to me yap for like an hour at this point. I've had so much fun. I'm in lots of back pain now from sitting on the floor, but it looked cute with the backdrop at least. Let me know if you like these kind of videos. I love sitting down and yapping, and if that's something you enjoy, let us yap some more. I'll be back next Friday with another video for your entertainment. I love if you would subscribe, leave a like or a comment. How has your day been? That's it for this video. I'll see you next time. Bye! God, how do you pull all these back? I'm not built for this. Who needs to work out? I'm stacking books.